Welcome to Mind Over Metal Podcast. Heavy metal and hard rock news, discussion and reviews. Alright, and welcome back to Mind Over Metal. This is episode 13. I think I actually said last week's episode was 13, but I was wrong. That was actually 12. But this is part 2 of the Ratt Retrospective, the first installment of our new theme months. And with me, as always, is Metal Mike. What's up, Mike?
Hey, DJ Mac. What do you know? What do you say, brother?
How you doing, man?
I'm making it. Busy being DJ Metal Mike, which into itself is a fucking full-time job. You know how it is.
Yeah, you're a superstar, man. Fucking superstar.
Well, I don't know about all that, but
man,
yeah,
you have a podcast, you have a radio show. Fucking celebrity. That's what we are.
Oh yeah, man. We're almost famous.
Almost, yeah, exactly. So, busy week?
Oh, yeah, fuck, they're all busy these days. But just been actually listening to a lot of Ratt lately.
Nice.
And, because, I'm familiar with Ratt, don't get me wrong, but like I said, most of it's the first 3 albums, and then after that, it's kind of, But just kind of going down memory lane. Listening to these records brought back a lot of memories for me, and good ones, I may add,
Can I ask you, seeing that you've been listening to Ratt so much this last few weeks, have you grown to like them even more?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, awesome.
Yes. You're talking to a guy. I've always been a Ratt fan. I've never... there's never been a period where I said I'd never liked Ratt, or the way Ralph was talking in his podcast, or you've heard him mention it before on Rock and Metal Combat podcast, like during the 90s period. It's kind of funny how some people look at that as a bad time for metal. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't, for a lot of different reasons. My God, man, you had Pantera, you had Fear Factory, you had Machine Head's debut album, Burn My Eyes, in the 90s. Typo Negative. There were so many cool... Prong was doing it. You had so many cool... Sepultura. I got into Sepultura with Arise. That's in the 90s. Of course, Chaos AD and Roots. And I know Roots is kind of a controversial album to some people, but I liked it.
Still a good record.
Yeah. And then you still had the alternative metal thing going on, or new metal. Like, I love the Deftones. Like the first couple of Korn albums. Now, Limp Bizkit and some of the other ones, wasn't really into that, But my point that I'm trying to make is the 90s was a great time for metal as far as I'm concerned. And like Ralph pointed out, I got to see Ozzy in a small theater. Mm-hmm. It was... Osmosis had just come out. And he'd been out of it for a while, because, quote-unquote, he retired. So he comes back, and I guess, again, I got to give him and Sharon credit. They didn't try to fucking fill sheds and stadiums right away. They might have been able to, because he is Ozzy after all. But they did a tour of small theaters. I saw him in the same theater that I saw fucking Pantera. Yeah. Okay, it was the most intimate setting for an Ozzy concert, dude, and I was right there. Fear Factory opened. It was fucking awesome, dude. Awesome concert. And, and what was really cool about that was Geezer Butler was the bass player. So I saw half of Sabbath in a fucking small theater.
Awesome. Intimate?
Yes. And I don't think that would have been possible in the 80s.
Yeah.
I really don't,
No, fuck no. That wouldn't have been possible.
So...
Yeah. And as Ralph said, too, anyone that was there at those shows was hardcore.
Right, and that's what I mean. I got to see Sepultura with Fear Factory and Clutch, and that was on the Chaos AD tour. I mean, so I'm lucky. I'm one of the few people that can say they saw the original Sepultura. I saw Pantera several times. I saw Slayer and Machine Head, and I mean, I saw some. You know, in the 90s and even up through the 2000s, I saw some great fucking concerts, man. Mm. I saw Slayer when Dave Lombardo come back at this little theater called The Pageant. I saw them perform Rain and Blood in their entirety.
Nice.
The whole album. And ending with blood pouring down on it. It's fucking amazing. I mean, I've seen some cool fucking shows, man. You know, and a lot. So it was always kind of cracked me up when I'd hear, "Oh, well, metal was dead. Metal was dead." I'm like, really? Because I didn't feel that way at all. Mm. You know. Now I know, like, Machine Head's debut album did much better on your side than it did mine. You know, because that's one thing where you Europeans, you know, you guys. It's not that there's not loyal metal fans here. I think there is, but there is a thing with Americans where it's almost like, well, what have you done lately? And Europe doesn't seem to be that way. They revere those acts no matter who they are or how old they are, because they're smart enough to realize, hey, what the, you know, like Twisted Sister does much more business over there than here.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a goddamn shame. You know, but so it is what it is, man. You know, but I mean, there's loyal metal fans over here. I don't want to make it out like, I mean, you're talking to one of them right now, you know, but it does seem to be different, man. Like, you know, they got huge festivals over there. They're getting better over here, though. We do have, like, you know, of course, Sarah, one of the co-owners of the station, she went to the Chicago Open Air. There's a fucking festival somewhere in Illinois that Overkill and Crowbar is going to be at. We're starting to have more festivals here in the States as well. So I think it's you know...
It's turning.
It's turning. But this shit's cyclical anyway. It's kind of like Tenacious D. You can't kill the metal. You know? You just can't. You know, they've tried. They've been trying to kill it since 1979, man. I know. I remember. I was an 9-year-old boy, and I remember reading Max Metal Dead and all this, you know... Yeah, okay, yeah. Well, guess what? Iron Maiden and Saxon and Diamond Head and those guys had something to fucking say about that. Yep. So did Venom, and then so did Merciful Fate.
Priest.
Yeah. Priest came back with a vengeance. I mean, you know, fuck off.
Absolutely. Killer. So, yeah, as I said, this is part 2 of the Ratt Retrospective. Part 1, I think came out fucking awesome. Really pretty pleased with it. Mike, you were saying you listened to it twice.
Yeah.
The numbers are great on it.
I'm not a guy that does that. A guy that does that. You know, like usually I'll just listen once and go, okay, because I want to know, okay, how big of a fucking idiot did I sound this week? You know, but yeah, I was really pleased with it. And like I was going to also point out too, like when you hear people even now say metal or hard rock is dead, and you know, working for the radio station as well as I do, dude, there's new bands and new genres coming out of the metal work, so to speak. Yep. It's like, I can't keep up. So, yeah, I laugh to myself when I hear shit like, oh, metal's dead. And I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
Well, it's even the amount of bands that I get sent. It's actually through our website, mindovermetalpodcast.com.
Oh, yeah.
I have a link there for people to submit their music. And I get at least 5 to 6 bands a week. And that's without even advertising, really, that we have that option there. No, don't get me wrong, not all of it's fucking good. A lot of it's shit. But there's still a lot of killer material that comes in. And, you know, people are out there. They're making the music. And they're looking for outlets like us to play it. You know, it's great. So, but yeah, little plug on that. Go to the website.
To the bands that might not make the snuff, I just want to say this: don't stop.
Yeah,
keep doing what you're doing, because you're gonna get better. You're gonna get better. You know, you just got to keep fucking persevering. Because you know, I've heard that a lot from songwriters and bands, and I'll go, well, you know, you need to write songs. Well, what if they're bad? Well, they're gonna be bad at first, but you will get better as you get going.
Yeah, if they're bad, just take it on the chin and just try again. Right.
Yep. Don't give up. Don't let me or anybody fucking tell you can't do it. That's fucking bull. Anyway, go ahead, my friend.
Yep. I can't remember what I was saying, but one thing I do want to bring up now is the iTunes reviews have seemed to have stopped. I don't know, is it just because there's nobody new on iTunes listening to us, or what the story is? But just a gentle reminder, if you listen to us on iTunes, just please leave a review, because the more reviews that you have, the more exposure you get, on the suggestions and, all that shit on iTunes. And, I mean, we want this to reach as many people as possible, and we can't do that without those reviews. So, look, please, if you do listen on iTunes, just take the minute to go over and leave us a review, and we will read it out on air. But just wanted to plug that there. iTunes reviews, do it today. Anything else, Mike, you want to talk about before we get back into the Ratt Retrospective?
Yeah, if you remember a few episodes back, you remember that website from Denver, Colorado. Now, this is my friend and partner in crime at that metal station, Scott Green, a.k.a. DJ Guilty's neck of the woods. Westward.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that retarded, absolute asinine review they did at the Metallica concert?
I remember that cocksucker.
Right, well, he's at it again, Mac, and you're gonna love this.
Oh, I know.
He is now he's reviewing your beloved Guns N' Roses. Now, we all know I have some pretty strong opinions about Guns N' Roses. I've said some critical things about them. But at the same time, this is kind of my attitude. And this goes even like, there's bands I don't like, but, at the same time, what the fuck have I done? I ain't done a goddamn thing, you know what I mean? And it's like, I don't know, I just find it funny when somebody rips on an artist, even if you don't dig them or like them, what the fuck have you done with your life? What are you doing? And I didn't go to this Guns N' Roses show. Of course, I found out later I had an opportunity to go and didn't even know it. My friend Amanda had gotten an extra ticket and was originally going to bring me. And that fucking cocksucker friend of mine, Bildo, said, "Oh, Mike don't even like Guns N' Roses." It's like, you motherfucker. Because I definitely would have went to a free show.
Oh, yeah, it's a killer show, too.
Yeah, I mean, there'd have been no doubt about that, It would have been fucking awesome. But I mean, shit, yeah, free show, sure, I would have went. And, I mean, Bill was making jokes, too, because, like, he said, they get there, and, of course, they start off with It's So Easy and Mr. Brownstone, and then they started playing other stuff, and Bill said, Mike would be like, okay, let's go. And I'm like, oh, come on, man, I'm not that bad.
Give you some credit, like, you're not that bad.
Right, but, I mean, the one thing he did notice, though, is there was a lot of people cheering for the quote-unquote popular songs or the hit songs. Bill's going nuts for fucking It's So Easy and Mr. Brownstone, and people are looking at him like he's crazy. Yeah. Unfortunately, there was a lot of posers at that show.
Yeah,
but the point I'm trying to make with this, I'm getting kind of long-winded, is this tour has been fucking enormously successful.
Phenomenally successful.
And everybody I've talked to says it's a great show. Like, everybody, I've not heard one person go, oh, that fucking sucked, man. Not one. Not on Facebook, not among my friends. Nobody have I heard say anything bad about it. So this guy, man, he right off the bat, are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay. Bad Boys Grow Up, the creative crisis of Guns N' Roses and Axl Rose. So, right off the bat, he's going to be a fucking cock knocker.
Yeah, he's going to shit all over the fucking whole thing.
Right. It's like, wow. If Axl Rose pushed the boundaries of his music, the 50-something lead singer of Guns N' Roses might be performing songs that are as pivotal today as the old songs were to kids growing up in the 80s and 90s. But he doesn't. He's still tossing around the mic and prancing up and down the stage, wearing a wide-brimmed hat over his bandana, fetishizing the youth he has long left behind. He and his crews keep ticking on and on and on, despite Duff's exploded pancreas, Slash's overdose, not to mention the mountain lion in a hotel room, the assault charges, the rants, and so much more chaos. Even Guns N' Roses seems to know the game should have been over a long time ago. At their Denver show on Wednesday, August 2nd, the Rockers occasionally performed under a superimposed animated clock, hands spinning in circles, to say, will this shit ever end?
Fuck
At times,
that guy.
it seemed like the audience wondered that too. At least when the band wasn't sticking to old hits like Welcome to the Jungle, Paradise City, Patience, and the Paul McCartney cover, Live and Let Die. Okay, so right there, you're just basically saying, well, these guys are a bunch of old has-beens, and they should just fucking quit. And the thing is, I mean, Axl's been, for good or bad, no matter how you feel about it, Axl's been going on as Guns N' Roses this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And think about it. This tour has been, like you said, enormously successful, and it's not even the original lineup. It's kind of, it's certain key members. It is a reunion.
Let's be honest. Three-fifths of the OG lineup.
Let's be honest. This is the Slash and Axl reunion. That's the angle they were selling. That's, because to a lot of fans, without Slash, there is no Guns N' Roses.
And I'm one of those fans. Having Duff is a bonus for me, but if it was just Axl and Slash that had regrouped and got back together, that would have been enough for me. And I think a lot of people are the same, because especially a lot of the casual fans, they don't give a fuck. I mean, they just want to see the dude in the top hat.
I highly doubt. Well, there was a little gal on the Rock and Metal Combat Facebook page, and she was kind of complaining about it. Like, there was some chick that was sitting there, again, poser fan, all fucking talking about the dude in the top hat. Didn't even know his fucking name. Just a total poser fan,
Yeah.
So you're unfortunately, sadly, you're right about that. You're right about that. I mean, they don't give a fuck. Probably don't even know who the fuck Izzy Stradlin is.
Yeah, not a clue.
No, not a clue. So so whatever. I mean, but the point of the fact is, this tour has been extremely fucking beyond. I think it even went beyond their expectations. It has been huge. They have done huge numbers, selling out everywhere they fucking go.
Yeah, and when you think about it, like, this is they're kicking off, a couple of shows ago, their second jaunt around the United States in 12 months. They did, I think it was 25 stadium shows last summer, and now they're back to do another, 20, 25 again?
Well, didn't they? Yeah, they went to the U.S. and see, they didn't hit St. Louis in that first leg, first jump. What they're doing is they did part of the U.S. or North America, I should say, because I'm sure there's some Canadian dates too.
There was, yeah.
Then went to Europe to entertain you guys, and did I don't know how many fucking stops there, but a bunch, I know.
Yeah,
and then they come back.
They were actually in Australia, Japan, Indonesia.
God.
All around them places.
This is really a world tour. Like, they're not fucking around.
No, they're hitting everywhere.
All right, cool. So, so this guy, I mean, it's like, dude, I don't know where he's coming from. It's almost like he sounds disappointed that Axl don't have the long, luscious red hair and the biker shorts.
Yeah, he wants to fuck him. That's what's wrong.
Yeah, I'm really thinking he's disappointed because Axl. Well, guess what? Yes, of course he's older, and so are you, dumb fuck.
Yeah. Have you looked at his picture? He looks like a fucking pedophile.
Yeah.
It's like a pedophile's mugshot. That's what he looks like.
Let me look again.
Okay, sorry. I better say allegedly, in case we get sued.
It looks like he just got busted too. Like, oh fuck, my life is over.
Yeah.
And this guy, like, we already know he's a fucking tool, dude. His review on Metallica, comparing it to fucking
hair metal.
Not just that. Yeah, well, at first he says that Kirk Hammett and his hair metal locks or whatever the fuck.
Hair metal sex appeal.
Yeah, I was just like, oh my god. You lost all, credibility right. But then he fucking compared it to a goddamn Nazi rally in fucking Nuremberg or wherever the fuck it was. I can't remember. It was the Triumph of the Nazi propaganda film, dude. Like, Triumph of the Will. He compared it to, I mean, I'm like, okay, dickhead, just because you don't like Trump or whatever the fuck your deal is, and we all know how I feel about politics, folks, so I'm not going to go off goddamn tangent. But the point that I'm trying to make, why do you got to put your personal politics, your personal issues, why can't you just go, okay, yeah, they're older, but hey, they put on a good show? Or it's like, yeah, I don't know what the fuck his deal is here. He says right here, the show had its moments. Slash still jams with dexterity. Duff plucks the hell out of his bass, and Rose keeps whistling out of tune, hitting ungodly high notes with his thin falsetto while screeching about flaming out, even as he simmers on. Now, I know that Axl sometimes has issues with his vocals, you know.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I haven't talked to anybody from the Denver show, so maybe he had a bad night. Who knows? I don't know. Still, though, it's like...
Okay. Read on there, Mike, and I'm going to just get something ready here. But you keep reading on, okay?
It's hard to watch him performing without wondering why Jim Morrison, Jimi Hendrix, Buddy Holly, and so many others died so early, and Rose, who nearly followed in their footsteps, just keeps on keeping on. Now a walking midlife crisis. So it's almost like, man, I wish Axl Rose would have died.
Yeah.
But really, dude, what is your fucking malfunction, man? Like, now I've said some pretty heavy things about Axl over the years. I mean, you know, but god damn, I never wish death on anybody. It's like, what is? It's not that anyone wishes Rose had died already, really, but it's awkward to listen to him sing songs about taking the night train until he crashes and burns, and all the other die young, forget the past, live in the moment sentiments that Guns N' Roses brand is built on, and know that the myth he created turned out to be bunk. Somehow they all survive. Okay,
Mike, just on that, his thin falsetto, okay? I've just pulled up footage from that actual show. And
okay.
Do you know what? Just for the fun, I'm going to play a bit of it here, okay? And we'll just see how thin the falsetto is.
Yeah, we'll listen. I'll give him a chance.
Okay. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll listen out for the falsetto and we'll see how thin it is. It's just an intro to Welcome to the Jungle. I don't know about you, but I don't find anything fucking thin about that.
It sounded like Axl.
Yeah.
That's Axl Rose. That's his vocals.
And
That's the way he always sounds.
But bear in mind, that was recorded on somebody's phone from, like, nosebleeds. But to me, that is far
but still,
from thin.
It sounded like Axl.
Yeah.
It sounded like Axl. I mean, Axl has a distinctive style. He always has. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know quite. And like him saying, oh, well, you know, for one thing, this is my rebuttal to him. He's talking about them singing songs about night training. Well, what the fuck else is he supposed to do, dude? It's a reunion.
Yeah.
They're not going to want him to do Chinese Democracy in its entirety with a fucking with half of the original lineup. That's not the point of this reunion. It's a reunion of sorts. It's a celebration of their entire discography, mostly the stuff they've done back in the day. I mean, how in the fuck? Why, you know, like, yeah, I just don't understand his logic. Maybe on the next Guns N' Roses album, he'll sing about being a middle-aged man. Who the fuck knows, dude? Yep. I'm like, that would be like asking Kiss when they got back in 96, hey, guys, we don't want to hear you singing about sucking and fucking and partying. Okay. That's like asking Sabbath when they got back together in the late 90s, hey, no gloom and doom, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, here we go.
Just forget everything that you ever written and released that everybody loves. Yeah. It's like, fuck this guy.
This guy's a fucking idiot, man. So then he goes on to say that Icarus brand never was cute. Not when we watched the news reports about Rose being accused of beating women, or now that he is clearly long past the age when his death, however he may go, would be commemorated as the only the good die young sort of thing. It would be more of a death of a salesman's swan song, and no journalist wants to pen that obit. Okay, you're just a bitter dickhead, aren't you?
Yeah, he is.
That's what's really wrong with him. He's just pissed off because he's writing for this useless fucking rag that most people don't even give a fuck about.
Yeah, and he probably doesn't even get paid for it.
It's not exactly breaking news that Rose is no longer the bad boy he built his reputation being. He's not even a particularly rebellious adult. Rumor has it he's gone new age. Mic in hand, he seems more like a creepy uncle who tells sex jokes to his teenage daughter and her friends while buying them wine coolers and taking them drunk water skiing than a person embracing life's higher truths and settling into his own authenticity.
That was a bit too descriptive for my liking. I think that's a guy that was fucking had an uncle called. Yeah, he had an uncle called Uncle fucking Touchy. That is, but I mean, is just totally uncalled for. This guy's a troll.
Yeah, with Rose's pornish black t-shirt, casual flannel tied around his waist, and his endless assortment of leather jackets from all stripes of scaly animals, he's faking it to barely make it and desperate for approval. No wonder when he flubs at his iconic slithering back and forth dance and says, "I don't want to overstay our welcome," he seems to know he has. Look, maybe as I age and struggle to shed the pounds and cut back on substances and feel my own body stiffening, I'm a hypocrite jabbing at a person 15 years older than me who's going through the same tired, all-too-American middle-aged shit. And maybe in some ways I resent him for even thinking he can look toward his youth when he thought he would burn bright and die rather than fade slowly, stumbling toward crapping himself to death in a hospital bed. Isn't that better than overdosing, blowing your brains out, or drunk driving over a cliff? If you believe his songs, the Grim Reaper should have already snatched him. He could have been a Kurt Cobain or an Elliott Smith or Marilyn Monroe, not a wannabe, or maybe like Arthur Rimbaud. Rose could have quit creating an adulthood stated overtaking him. Rose could have quit creating an adult. Rose could have quit creating as adulthood started overtaking him. Or perhaps he could follow David Bowie, a guy he wants to punch, and embrace the change and become a black star. Had Rose died during his youth, he would have been canonized. Had he backed out of his career, he would have been forgotten. Had he kept creating with authenticity, he might still be praised. Instead, he's just an old rock star who look more like Frank Sinatra than Axl Rose. If he sticks to the same old script when he performs, he'll be remembered as an important musician who became a washed-up has-been, a man who could attract the stadium-sized crowd not for what he is, but for what he was. It must irritate Rose that Slash still has that spark. Beneath all that curly hair, top hat, and sunglasses, a man who's aged well, despite his own struggles with addiction and history of domestic violence. Perhaps the sound of the electric guitar immortalizes youth better than the human voice. Sure, Slash could have used a tighter belt in Denver. At the end of the concert, when he showed off his handstand skills and inadvertently gave us a peek at his crack for the 60th time, he didn't seem any less cool than he did in 1989. For a person who kept half mooning his fans, that's an impressive feat. Sadly, Slash's enigmatic coolness, ass and all, does Rose no favors. It turns the rock star, whose baggy t-shirt steadfastly concealed his rump, into a cautionary tale about living too hard. But also shows that it's possible to age artfully, and that it's maybe not too late for Rose. He could still show us who he is now instead of wallowing in memories. He should share his rumored spirituality in song. He could open up, even a little. Until Rose performs as the person he is rather than the man he was, he will only be as relevant as an aging artifact embodying those melancholy lines of T.S. Eliot. Not with a bang, but a whimper. Rose and his fans deserve much better. I mean, I'm just like, dude, wow. Like I said, I've said some pretty, heavy things about Axl over the years, but part of that was like during the time period in his life when he was acting like a complete cockknocker,
This guy just seems fixated on his death and his appearance.
And what he was in his youth, and it's like, dude, and I've got news for him, though. You want Axl what he is now? He can't give you that unless he was to Chinese democracy, and I'm sorry, but fans don't want to see, even though I know they did a few. Didn't they do a couple tracks from Chinese, Matt?
Yeah, they do, yeah. There's about 3 or 4 in the set.
Okay, fine, whatever. But my point that I'm trying to make is people want to see Axl and Slash, and they want to remember the good old days. They don't want to remember... And anybody that's expecting any guy to be what they were in their 20s is a fucking tool.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen, man. You know, I mean, it's just not going to happen. And I don't know, man. This guy's just a bitter, angry
bitch.
Yeah,
I figured out what his problem is. At school, he was a Poison fan, and he was fucking beat up by Guns N' Roses fans. That's what's wrong with him. Look at him. He looks like a stupid, whiny little faggot bitch. He is on Twitter at Kyle_A_Harris. Any GNR fans out there? Let him know what you think.
Yeah, I mean, I was just like, wow, yeah. And like I said, I've said some pretty... You know, but for me, I always felt like the things I said about him was justified. I never, like, ripped on the man's musical ability. Never, and like I said, anybody that's expecting Axl to look like he did in circa 1987.
Yeah, wake up.
Come on, man, wake up. Yeah, you know, that's like expecting, I mean, you know, give me a fucking break, man. I mean, Father Time is a motherfucker, and he gets us all.
Yeah.
And like I said, dude, my question to him would be, what have you done?
Yeah, he writes for a shitty rag.
Right, you know, and it sounds to me like you're a bitter fuck. Like you said, well, I can do more stories and words. And I think you're a bitter motherfucker who nobody wanted to fucking pay you money to see your shitty fucking movies.
Yeah, this cunt, he's a troll, and he does that shit for attention, good or bad. He just needs to be noticed. Because he probably has a small penis, and he's gay, and not that there's anything wrong with that, but he can't.
Well, you know what? He makes gay people look bad, though. If he's gay, I mean, you know what? He's so fucking retarded. He's so gay that gay people think he's gay.
Yeah, gay people think he's a faggot. They call him a faggot. They say, "Oh man, there's that faggot Kyle Harris. Fuck that guy." He used to listen to Poison, so we beat him up wearing our Guns N' Roses shirts.
right. You know, because I mean, I'm sure you know, GNR's got gay fans too. I mean, you know, hey, you know, I mean, I just don't get like, yeah, I don't. I'm like, wow, man, it was just he didn't say. I mean, it just was filled with just bitter
hate.
Fucking yeah, like obviously you're not a Guns N' Roses fan, and if you were. I guess you're pissed off because they... And I mean, look, you can say things like... And I've said things about guns that I do feel they're somewhat overrated.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the fact that they were... I mean, goddamn, man, they broke up, and then they made people wait like 20-some-odd years for a record, and you know, look, we all know how I feel about GNR. Like, I feel they strayed... They fucking strayed from what they originally were, in my opinion. Mm-hmm.
But you know what? I heard it, the best I ever heard it described about GNR. And I never thought of it this way before, but when I heard it, I was like, do you know what? I totally fucking agree with that. It was on the Rock and Metal Combat podcast, the Spaghetti Incident review. And I think it was Ian or Ralph said that they tried to reach legendary status, you know, like the Stones, you know, like the Beatles, like Zeppelin. They tried to reach that status too soon. And you know what? It's fucking true. You know, Use Your Illusions was a massive experiment. Now, ultimately, it paid off for them because, you know, it sold fucking 30-something million copies worldwide. It's only in later years where it's actually people, you know, some people turn their noses up. But it just hit home when I heard the guy say that. That's fucking it. They wanted to be the Stones. They wanted to be Zeppelin.
Sabbath. The
Sabbath,
legendary bands.
Too soon. You know, 5 years into their career when that shit probably shouldn't have happened to 10, 15 years down the road. But yeah, I mean, Wadzilla or Ralph, whoever it was, they had the nail on the head there. They wanted to be this epic band, you know, too soon, and that's where it went wrong.
Yeah, I agree. I thought Ian hit the nail on the head, man. He, you know, he has a tendency to do that sometimes. He'll just say things that I'm like, oh my God, that's exactly how I feel.
Yeah.
It's weird with Ian and Ralph, though, because I'm in age, I'm right in between them. So sometimes I agree with Ralph, sometimes I agree with Ian, you know. And then there's times where it's like Ralph thinks, he said it a while back in that video where he was saying, he kind of like did a quick review of all the Kiss albums and talked about what he liked and how he had said earlier in reviews he didn't like this song or that song or whatever. And he talks about the Elder being a masterpiece. Now, I don't think it's a masterpiece. I'm not an Elder lover, but I'm not really a hater either. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I'm the same.
I just that's the thing that kind of cracks me up is the fact that you know, there's some people, though, that want to act like it's this, like, forgotten masterpiece or misunderstood masterpiece, and I just don't hear it to my ears. I mean, I understand what Kiss was trying to do, but I don't. It's a very disjointed record. It's just fucking weird to me, and but Ralph did concede in the same video that he did when he talked about Kiss and all their flaws. He said, you know, he goes, I'll admit, you know, Ace is a fuck up. Peter can't drum anymore like he used to. You know, Vinny's a flake. You know, Gene's a control, a corporate whore. Paul's a control freak. If I can admit these things, the Elder was a mistake, and it was. I mean, whatever else anybody can say about it, Ace Frehley was fucking, you know, the drug addict and the alcoholic was fucking right. You know,
absolutely.
I mean, you know, I'm sorry, but you know, the Elder was a fucking mistake, and it is a weird Kiss album. I mean, if you love it, hey, fine, more power to you, man. I just don't. There are a few songs I like on it, but it is not a great Kiss album to me.
No, it's not a Kiss album at all.
I don't even rank it to, and it don't even make my top list, man. If I were to make a list of Kiss albums, it would be toward the bottom. Sorry, folks. I mean, but I don't hate it. I don't hate it like Ian does either, you know. I mean,
yep, absolutely.
I look at the Elder kind of like what it was. It was an experiment. It was them trying to do something different. But and again, I think the idea for it was a good idea. I just think the execution was lacking.
Yep.
When I hear the Elder, I hear the roots of a really good hard rock metal record. There's some killer riffs in that album, but it's just too drowned out with too many bells and whistles, too much weird shit. Them trying to be Rush and Pink Floyd, it just doesn't work for me. That's just me, though. You know. Anyway, fuck this guy from Westward. Fuck that rag. That's 2 reviews he's done where I'm like,
yeah,
what the fuck?
Joe,
like,
we're gonna watch that fucker like a hawk. And I'm gonna mess
well, I know
him.
now, especially he just ripped on your favorite band, so
he just stamped on my balls. So he's a marked man. Fuck that guy. You know, fucking poof. But anyway, how about we get on?
I'm gonna kill that motherfucker, Metal Mike. I'm telling you right now, that fucker's a dead man.
He is. He's gonna get a fucking sledgehammer and a 2x4. No, I better be careful what I say.
But not literally. We're not gonna really like actually assassinate him. We're gonna assassinate his character. We're gonna assassinate his character. That's what we're.
Yeah.
Anyway, man. So, you ready to rat and roll, bro?
Yeah, let's rat and roll. Last week we left off at the end of Out of the Cellar. So next up is the follow-up album, 1985. Yeah, 1985's Invasion of Your Privacy. Now, Mike, I know you've really done your homework, so I'm not going to spoil it on you. I know you have all your notes in front of you, so...
Well, I don't want to, I don't want to view all the talking now, but okay.
Yeah, go for it.
Well, like you said, Invasion of Your Privacy, released June 13th, 1985 on Atlantic Records, recorded earlier that year at Rumbo Records, Canoga Park, California, and Atlantic Studios, New York City. Once again, produced by Beau Hill. Interestingly enough, I want to talk to you about that guy a little bit.
Yep.
If you watch that behind the music, they seem to have issues with Beau Hill.
Yeah, there's a lot of animosity there.
I don't quite understand why, though. I thought he did a good job, man. Like, I mean, you could say what you want about the guy, but your most successful records were the ones he produced.
Mm-hmm.
Just throwing that out there, man.
Yep.
I don't know if it was just a case of him going, "Hey guys, let's get off your asses and put the coke down and get to fucking work," and that's what pissed him off. Or what the deal was.
From what I understand, now I could be wrong, but from what I understand was Beau maybe overstepped his line a little bit when it came to the songwriting part of the business, where Stephen was very, "This is my song, I'll play it, I'll write it, I'll sing it whatever way I want," but Beau would have been a guy that would have come in and said, "No, fuck that line. Don't sing that. Sing this." And that really annoyed Stephen.
I could see that. And what's funny though, I don't see Beau in any of the songwriting credits until Dancing Undercover, and it's only one track. Mm-hmm. Now, Reach for the Sky, man, he's involved in a lot of the fucking recording of that record. As far as writing of that record, but we'll get to that later.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, the singles that were kind of released between June and August of '85 was "Lay It Down," B-side "Got Me on the Line." The second one was "You're in Love," "Between the Eyes," and then they had "What You Give Is What You Get" and "Between the Eyes" in January of '86, but that was Japan only.
Yeah.
The cover featured Playboy model Marianne Gravati. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right.
Gravatt.
Who also appeared. Gravatt.
Mm-hmm.
She appeared in the "Lay It Down" video. Fucking fine as fuck. I know that.
Mm-hmm. I have a T-shirt with that album cover on it. So
do you?
Yeah, I have her as a T-shirt.
Oh yeah, she was a beauty, man.
Yeah.
God damn, she was hot.
Yeah.
But, I mean, come on, play me.
Let's just say there's been a few loads in that T-shirt. Wow.
The model on Invasion's cover is Playboy playmate Marianne Gravatt, who also made an appearance in the video "Lay It Down." Using a beautiful female model on an album cover later became a trend, copied by many glam metal bands of the 1980s, such as Great White and Slaughter, who coincidentally featured Robin Crosby's wife on the cover of their debut album.
Mm-hmm. Marianne Gravatt. Because I'm weird, I actually found out where she is nowadays. She's obviously, she's not a model no more, because, man, she must be like mid-50s at this stage. But she actually owns and runs a sports bar with her husband. I can't remember where. I think it's in California somewhere.
I think it's in LA. I read something. Yeah,
So that's what she's doing. She's serving the drinks in the sports bar.
Kind of makes me wonder, because it was Stephen Piercy who picked. I wonder if he hit that.
Oh yeah, he's bound to have had that.
Yeah. So anyway, So then we go from that into the record, man. You want to take the first track, bro?
Yep. First track is "You're in Love," if I'm correct. Would I just get "You're in Love"? Oh man, the fucking riff on that, the opening is just amazing. Love the song. Radiohead setlist staple in live shows. I just think it's killer. Love it. Great opening track. What do you think?
Pretty much concur with everything you just said, my friend. Written by Piercy and Crucier. Starts off with just that catchy, hooky fucking riff. Just sweet melodic vocals and awesome guitar work, courtesy of Rob Crosby and DeMartini throughout the fucking song. Great opening track. Absolutely love it, man.
Yeah. Whet your appetite for the rest of the album.
And what's really interesting is I remember my brother bought this because it came out June 13th, 1985. That's the day after my brother's birthday. So he was 18 years old when this came out. And He bought it on tape, man. He had a Walkman, but we also had what was commonly known then as ghetto blasters, which was these huge, ginormous miniature radios. I never did understand this. Like portable radio, you carried them on your shoulder. And we would walk around the neighborhood just cranking this record, man. Cranking it, man. I mean, like I said, I got a lot of good memories of this record.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, fuck, man. I was 12 going on 13 when it came out. So, yeah, it hit me right at that age, right, Track 2, Never Use Love, written by Piercy. Fucking killer track. It keeps the momentum of the album going, which leads right into track 3, which we'll get to that in a minute. What do you think of Never Use Love?
It's my favorite song on the album. I think it's so fucking catchy. That chorus, I forget how it goes now, but oh yeah, never use love. I love, and then I don't wanna fight. I just think it's catchy as fuck.
It is.
Yeah, I think it's tied with. What do we see? No, it's my favorite song. Yeah, fuck it, it's my favorite song. I love that song.
Right on, man. All right, then we go into Lay It Down, the big hit from the record, written by Crosby, Piercy, DeMartini, and Crucier. Very cool track.
Yeah.
I think was an excellent choice to be the first single. It's just got a killer chug and riff, accentuated by Juan's bass, that bass line. Just a very cool track. I like it. I wouldn't say it's my favorite song on the album, but it's a damn good song. Right now, 3 for 3, man.
Yep. Look, it's again with the killer fucking riffs, the opening, opening a song with a killer riff. I love it, and a great song. And what I love about it too is throughout the song, there's this like heartbeat, kind of drum beat in it, I just think it's a great fucking song. The video is killer as well. 3 out of 3, absolutely.
And it's really interesting too because, like, again, it's these catchy fucking riffs with these melodic hooks, which is just a Ratt staple at this point in time, man. I really dig it. Track 4, Give It All. You want to take this one, Mac?
Go ahead, Duke.
Really, all I got's written by Crosby and Piercy. Good, solid track. Killer filler.
Yep,
I like it, but it's not one of my favorite songs in the album.
Yeah, look, same here. I like it. I would never skip it, but it's definitely filler. But it's good. It's good filler.
And then, of course, we've got Closer to My Heart. Probably at this point in time, the closest that Ratt ever came to a power ballad. I love the acoustical intro. Just a really good song, man. I like this song. I think it's cool because it's got the acoustical, but it's obviously a love song, but it's still got that punch, to it. And I would say that this was about as close as they came to a power ballad at this point in time. Eventually, they did break down and record a power ballad, but we'll get to that much later. Yeah. So what do you think?
Oh no, sorry. Where are we? Closer to My Heart.
Closer to the Heart. Yeah.
It's okay. I'm not a big fan of it. It's one of the tracks I would skip. I might listen to a minute into it, and then I would go, right, that's enough of that.
Okay.
It just doesn't really do anything for me. But it's not a bad song, but it's just.
Yeah, I like it. I wouldn't say it's one of my. But see, I'm gonna make a confession here. I don't think there's really a bad track on this record.
Yeah, that would be. Well, it wouldn't even be a blemish. It would be. This is definitely my least favorite.
Right.
But it's not a bad song by any means. Right. It just doesn't really do much for me. It is what it is.
Between the Eyes, written by Piercy and DeMartini. This is a cool fucking song, man. It's got a cool groove to it. I fucking dig it, man. Right between the eyes. Yeah, I like this song. What do you think?
Dun. Yeah, I love it. I love that kind of. It's like got the swagger to it. Yeah, that's a cool fucking song. Really like it.
Yeah, it is. It's a very cool song. Then track 7, What You Give Is What You Get, written by Crucier. Killer opening riff, sweet guitar work, very catchy, hooky track, which is, again, a Ratt staple. I mean, I think at this point in time, with these first 2 records, Ratt are just firing in all cylinders as far as I'm. What do you think?
Yeah, I love it. It's that guitar. There's this sweet fucking killer melody guitar. Kind of after the after the chorus. I don't know. Is it Warren or Robin playing it? I don't know. But it's a great fucking song. I love this. Probably be second or third favorite song on the album. Great fucking song.
Right on, man. Yeah, it's a cool, great, yeah. And it's catchy too, you know. Yeah. What you give is what you get. It's a very cool song. Then we got Me on the Line, written by Crosby and Piercy. It's a cool song. I think it's filler though. Killer filler, but filler nonetheless. Killer filler in the immortal words of Ian Wadley, aka Wadzilla. Got to give credit where credit is due. Yep. Really tasty guitar solos though. But like I said, I know we kind of sound like we're repeating ourselves, but it's just true. I mean, they were just really firing on all cylinders here, as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like the song. I think it's a great song. But there's one fucking thing that really does my tits in, and it's, you know, that part at the end. It's like, nobody hangs up on me. Whoever the fuck
that's
that
a bit
is.
cheese dick.
Yeah, it's dumb.
You know, like 12-year-old Mike thought it was cool as fuck, but now I'm like, when I re-listened to it, it's like, that's kind of painful.
Yeah, it's gay.
Like the answer in the phone was okay, like the hello. I didn't care. I didn't. Wow, you sounded just like him.
Oh, thank you.
You were like,
I don't know. Is that Juan or is it Steve? I don't know who it is.
It's Steve.
It's Steven, is it?
I think. I'm not sure. It could have been one. Right. Like, he's almost like afraid, like, who's at the other end of the phone, man? Is it a stalker? Hello? But yeah, I don't mind that. But yeah, nobody hangs up on me. It's like, okay.
It's like, what the fuck are you doing? You just knocked a devil horn off yourself. You know, you were going to get 9, now you're getting 8.
Right, fuckers. You know? So, and anyway, then we go to track number 9, You Should Know By Now. Written by Crosby, Piercy, and Crucier. This is a very catchy fucking tune. Yeah. It just gets in your goddamn head, and it never lets go. Yeah. I absolutely love this song. What do you think? Yeah, I even played it on my show last Friday, and what was really cool is that I listened to Ian on Soundphoria Radio. He, had his debut show on our sister station, so to speak. They're not really our sister station, but they're like family. And he played that song, and I request, because in his format is you just name the band and I'll play the song. I'm like, okay, dude, I want to hear some Crowbar and I want to hear some Ratt. Yeah. He fucking played Ratt, You Should Know By Now, and I had to PM him and go, dude, I just played this song last night on my show. Great minds think alike. It's just a catchy fucking song, I think. Really cool.
Yeah, the last 2 tracks on this album stick in my fucking head whenever I hear them. This one, You Should Know By Now. It's just so fucking catchy.
Yeah.
And the next track, I love You Should Know By Now. Awesome track. And then track 10, Dangerous But Worth the Risk. The exact same. It sticks in my fucking head every time I hear it.
Yeah, it is, man. And this is a good album. Like, it's really hard for me to pick my favorite song. It's probably You're in Love, the opening track. There's just something about that song I love, but I don't think there's a bad song on, like, when I listen to, because again, we're from that generation, dude. When you, and I include you in this, when you got a record, you listen to the album in its entirety. You didn't
hell yeah.
And this was, like I said, this was that cool walking around town fucking rocking out album for me. I absolutely love Invasion of Your Privacy. It was a huge hit. It didn't do quite as well as Out of the Cellar. Out of the Cellar, I think, was triple platinum. This went double platinum. It even says right here, DeMartini and Crosby's impressive guitar solos and Piercy's highly sexual lyrics helped to further define the Ratt sound, which is what we've been saying all along. Although it did not achieve the sales figures of the status of their debut, Invasion of Your Privacy nonetheless was certified double platinum, selling over 2 million copies, and remains highly regarded amongst fans to this day. And then, of course, they did the tour. They toured. They also were a target, of course, of the PMRC. Now, anybody who's old enough to remember those fuckheads,
bored housewife Tipper Gore,
right? The Parents Music Resource Center, which was basically, so it was one of the targeted records because of the album, the cover, the reference to voyeurism. Which I'm like, what's wrong with voyeurism, man? Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with a pretty girl. Okay, so the law fucking turn, well, look at what the girl don't know ain't gonna hurt her.
Yeah, hey, if she's not aware, there's no crime.
All our female listeners will be like, "What the fuck, Metal Mike?" I'm joking. The four-led organization, the Washington Wives. I'm with Blackie Lawless on that when he said live in the Raw. I don't know about you folks. That sounds like some goddamn Jackie Collins Hollywood fucking novel if you ask me. I'm like, yeah, it's so stupid, man. I mean, they were fucking bored, and on September 19, 1985, they were dealing with parental advisory labels on albums that display inappropriate content. So, fucking stupid. Mm-hmm. The band toured extensively in the United States and Japan, sharing stages with the likes of Bon Jovi, Ugg Puke, Ozzy Osbourne, fuck yeah, and Iron Maiden, hell yeah. In August of 1985, the band played on the Monsters of Rock Festival in Castle Donington, England, along with ZZ Top, Bon Jovi, Metallica, and Magnum. So they were definitely making a splash.
Mm. And you know what? They were fucked. Ratt were like the Beatles in Japan. Like 10 years beforehand, or less even, 8 years beforehand, Cheap Trick were. They were just adored in Japan, and
really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was like Beatlemania in Japan when Ratt came to. There were hundreds of girls, and at the airport there was thousands outside the hotel rooms.
Oh, see, that's something I didn't know, Mac. Yeah. I didn't know that, but I did notice because they would always have these singles released in Japan only.
Yeah, that's why.
All right,
they were absolutely huge in Japan.
All right, man.
So that is the end of Invasion of Your Privacy. So where are we next? September 1986, Dancing Undercover.
Yeah, I've got a release date August 9th, 1986, but okay. Who knows? Well, dude, you don't know though because I'm getting conflicting. That's what's weird about Ratt. I get a lot of conflict. Wikipedia says one thing, this website says another.
Yeah.
Doing the research for this was kind of a fucking bitch, man, because there's just not a lot out there, really. I mean, almost makes me wish I would have already read Steven's book, because I probably would have been able to tell a lot more about what was going on behind the bands. Granted, it would have just been from Steven's point of view, but it was kind of a challenge, but hey, fuck it, I like challenging things.
Yeah.
But, so according to Wikipedia, which that ain't the fucking gospel, folks. Okay, let's just throw that out there.
Take it with a pinch of salt.
Yeah, totally, because... But yeah, so you said from your source it was September of '86, huh? Yeah. It could have been. Fuck, I don't remember. That was fucking 30-something years ago, man. Anyway, you want to take this one, dude?
No, you go for it, man. You're doing a good job.
All right. Recorded at the Village Recorder in L.A., California. Once again, produced by Bo Hill. Singles were Dance and Take a Chance. That was the first single. The second single was Body Talk with the flip side of Slip of the Lip, Japan only. There you go.
Yep, there you
go. And then they had a Slip of the Lip promo. Not quite sure what that was. Like maybe that was before the album had come out. Anyway, when they released this album, and right here, I've got conflicting things. In the same goddamn website, it says August 9th, 1986, but here it says Ratt's next release was Dancing Undercover in September of '86.
Yeah.
So there you go, Mac. Yeah. Again, Wikipedia, folks. According to them, the album was a relative disappointment with most critics at the time of its release. From a commercial standpoint, however, the album kept Ratt's streak of consecutive platinum albums alive. This was the first album as well to see Crosby's lead guitar duties minimized in favor of DeMartini. And that's obvious. I mean, we all know by this point in time, Robin's probably hooked on heroin. He's fucked up. Mm-hmm. This is right around the time when, he wasn't, he's still contributing songwriting-wise, but when it came to playing, he was just really fucked up most of the time. So I guess Warren kind of was doing the brunt of the heavy work at this point in time. They also said that in an effort to be taken more seriously, they broke away from the tradition of featuring a hot chick on the cover. That they wanted to do kind of more of a gritty black and white photo of each of the 5 band members. There's not a fucking single power ballad amongst its 10 tracks, and it's a bit of an experimental album for Ratt, I think. I actually like the cover. I like the cover, man. I think it's a cool cover, in black and white. You got Steve smoking a cigarette, looking badass. I mean, it's about as badass as Ratt could look, but it's like, I actually like this record. So, you want to start off with the first song?
Yeah, well, it just grabs a copy. Dancing Undercover. Oh, Dance. Man, I fucking love this song. That little intro at the beginning, where it nearly sounds like the record's been spun backwards. I don't know, that's why I hear it anyway. But I think this is a great fucking song, and it's one that I'd love to see live. I would love to see the band do this live.
Have they ever played this song live?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
And I was thinking way, back, I don't think the band has ever played it. But I was thinking, maybe is it because of that fucking weird intro? Is it too hard maybe to, even if they played a pre-record of that and then just went into it, would it be because the timing's a little bit off there? I don't know. Maybe would it just be hard to get it right? But I'm sure there's a way around it. But it's a great fucking song, and I have never seen Ratt, and if I ever do and they played that song, I would just be fucking in heaven. But keeping with the tradition of great openers, Dance, fucking love it. What do you think? Sorry, I just got a message, so I got a little distracted. I heard what you said. I've never heard them play it live. Of course, I only saw Ratt once. I never got to see Ratt in their heyday. I was actually going to go. My brother had an extra ticket. And because I had made A's and B's in all my grades, which is, I don't know what the grading system's like over in the UK and Ireland. But here we have A's, which is top, B's, which is above average. Okay, so but I was really struggling with this one class, man, and really struggling. I got an F in it, and because of that, my old man wouldn't let me go to Ratt. Oh man,
it broke my fucking heart, and that was the Invasion of Your Privacy tour. So I was brokenhearted, man. I was really brokenhearted, even though I wouldn't have been a big fan of the opening act, because the opening act was fucking ugly. Poison.
Or Poison?
No, it's Poison. I believe so. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure if my memory serves, it was Poison. Track 1 starts off with a cool guitar soloing. Like you said, very cool voice effect, drums, voice effect by Piercy. I really like it. Basically a track about dancing with a hot chick, man. But I even like the lyrics, man, and just the groove to it. Really cool track, and it was written by Crosby, Piercy, DeMartini, and Beau Hill. So here we go. This is where Beau's kind of starting to stick his fingers in the songwriting process.
And did you notice?
And that might have been
no Bobby Blotzer.
Oh yeah. You're going to be surprised though in a little bit.
Yeah,
man, we're going to get into that. Okay, next track, One Good Lover, written by Crosby and Piercy. Basically, a track about a woman that obviously was a fantastic fucking lay. and he's hooked on that pussy.
Yep.
Just pretty much, in my opinion, straight filler. Doesn't really do a whole lot for me. Not bad, but it's not great. So already I'm feeling a decline from the first 2 records. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying the whole album's like this, but there was just something from this track and even the next track that was missing from me. For me, it was. But anyway, what do you think of track 2?
Yeah, I think it's filler as well.
Yeah, and I don't even think it's killer filler. It's just filler.
This is filler to the very sense of the word. It's probably the first song from the EP up until now that I'm just not into.
Right.
Just
like it could not be on the album,
me.
and I would be fine with it.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't hate it. It's not a horrible song, but it's just there.
It's not memorable.
Not at all.
Yeah,
not at all.
If they re-released the album and took this off, and you put the album on to play it, you wouldn't even know. You wouldn't even think. Remember that. Oh yeah, One Good Lover used to be there. It's just, bleh, doesn't do anything for me.
Right. Track 3, Drive Me Crazy. Oh, go ahead, Mac.
Yeah, I was just going to say, but track 3, I fucking love that song. I think Drive Me Crazy is a great song. It picks up again on the album for me. Bit of a blemish there with track 2, but track 3 just picks it straight up. I love that song. I think it's catchy as fuck.
Okay. Well, I'll go so far as to say this. I think track 2 is the weakest song on the album.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Track 3, Drive Me Crazy, written by Crosby, Piercy, and DeMartini, and holy fucking shit, Bobby fucking Blotzer. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, he's actually on a songwriting credit. Starts off with a pretty cool groovy riff. It's pretty hooky chorus, but for me, there's just something missing, and I don't know what it is. It's not a bad track, but it's not on the level of previous albums, and it's still a bit of a decline for me here so far.
Yeah.
Chiller soloing, though, as always, and it is better than track 2, so I like it, but there's something, I don't know, man, like, I don't know, I'd probably put it in the killer filler category, because it's a pretty good song. It just, I don't know, there's just something it's just something missing on that track. I can't quite put my finger on it. I don't quite fucking know why I feel that way, but I do. Where the other Ratt albums, man, it was like boom, 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 boom. I'm like, okay, it's a groove, and I'm getting into it. I got in the groove with dance, but now I'm kind of out of my groove a bit. Okay, track 4, Slip of the Lip. You want to take this one, brother?
Yeah, you go for it.
Written by Piercy, DeMartini, and Crozier. Fuck, I keep forgetting. I'm sorry, Juan. I keep fucking your name up. Video for the song is just completely cheeserific, as all videos in the 80s were. Starts with a very catchy, groovy riff, killer fucking bass line. The kind of song you could walk down the street with and strut. You know what I mean? It's like one of those, yeah, motherfucker. This is more like it to me. This is a very, very cool track, and I can totally see why it was a single, because it was actually a promotional single. This was the song they released before the record come out, and I can see why. They wanted to get people excited about it. I dig this song. What about you, man?
Yeah, I love this song. I think it's fucking strut is actually a good word to describe it. It's like something like Staying Alive. When you hear
like
that,
a metal version of it. Yeah, you're just like, yeah, motherfucker. Oh, yeah, I'm a bad motherfucker. Yeah. Slip of the lip, bitch.
Yeah, let me slip on those lips. But
yeah, no shit.
Yeah, and not the ones in your face, bitch. But yeah, it's a great fucking song. I really like it. But then it goes into my favorite song on the album, Body Talk. Man, what a fucking song. It's thrashy. It is.
I was just gonna say that, Mac. Thank you. I mean, to me, it's almost like Ratt got experimental. Like, I was like, is that thrashy? It sounds kind of thrashy. And there's other people that have, acknowledged that. But go ahead, brother. I just got excited. I didn't mean to.
Yeah, no, I just love it. I think it's an amazing song. It's in my top. Body Talk. Oh man, it's hard to say what my top 5 would be, but look, I find it hard to believe that I wouldn't put it in it if I was to sit down and really think about it. But I just love the song. It's just a fucking killer track, and I would have loved to have heard an album with 10 or 12 body talks on it. If they had kept that format. Maybe going into 1987 or 1988.
They had talked about it, dude. What's interesting enough, I was able to find some information on this record. Because what I would also do when I put in RATT, I would also put in albums and try to find articles or things I could read. And one of the interesting things about this album, though, like Blotzer, his fucking opinion matters, but he was like, well, and he made the point that we didn't have anything written. Like their manager had already booked studio time that he couldn't get the money back for. So RATT was kind of under a gun with this album. And I think maybe that's why track 2 and 3 were maybe lacking a little bit. Especially track 2 is, you kind of got to wonder, because to me, I think when I said something's missing, I think it's like, to me, they don't sound done. Like there's just something missing there that doesn't have the RATT chemistry or sound that I was accustomed to at that point in time. You see what I'm saying? And but Body Talk, what a killer fucking track, man. What a killer fucking track. I think this was an amazing fucking record. I'm getting kind of. It's funny. I'm a nurse. You'd think I'd be able to multitask by now, but
I'm the same, man.
I
can't
fucking messages anyway. Yeah, this song, Body Talk, written by Crosby, Piercy, and Crucier, killer fucking opening riff that was apparently written by Warren. The track, though, is pretty much written primarily by Juan. Written in one fucking day, dude.
Yeah.
One day.
Yeah,
he wrote all the vocal melodies and lyrics, adding additional chord progressions to Warren's riff.
Yeah,
well, all I gotta say, very, very cool. And I like how it's got a cool mellow intro right before it gets into the fast-paced, chuggy riff. And then I even say in my notes, dare I say thrashy? Killer fucking track. Like seeing... I like seeing RATT experiment with their sound. One of the heaviest tracks the band's ever recorded, in my opinion. Killer guitar solo by DeMartini and Crosby. Tied for my favorite track on the album.
Nice.
And it even says right here, dude, that, like they said, they wanted to be taken more seriously, so they did the cover with the black and white photos. Doesn't contain a single ballad. And amongst its 10 tracks, and even first experimental forays into thrash and heavier sounds. The song that reflected this most strikingly was Body Talk, which was featured on the soundtrack for the 1986 Eddie Murphy film, The Golden Child. The more straight-ahead style of the album, especially with this song, led many fans to believe that RATT was headed in a direction more akin to the thrash style, the thrash style of such bands as Anthrax, Megadeth, Slayer, Metallica. However, that proved not to be the case, as the slightly experimental undertones of this record were quickly replaced with a bluesier sound throughout their next 3 releases. And I agree with that. Like it kind of surprises me in a way, because from what I understand, RATT was actually kind of a fan. They liked that heavier stuff. They liked Anthrax. They liked, the thrash metal. This song was very, very, very thrashy, man. In fact, Warren even talked about it. Definitely. The thrash metal was an influence on this particular.
Yeah.
Okay, man. You ready for a break?
Yeah, let's just take a quick piss break.
You want me to start?
And we're back. We just took a break because needed a piss, needed to refresh the drink, and we do this as a live show. Even though we don't broadcast it live, but everything's done live, so we can pause this shit. So, Mike, where were we? Looking for Love? Flipping it over?
Yeah, man, we're flipping this motherfucker over. Looking for Love, written by Crosby, Piercy, Crucier. I gotta say, dude, I absolutely love this fucking song. It's catchy as fuck, has great melodic hooks with an awesome chorus. This is the type of track that will stay in your head for days. Sweet, tasty guitar solos. honestly tied for my favorite track of the album. The perfect combination of pop and metal. I mean, it's so opposite of Body Talk, but yet I fucking love it just as much. And as far as I'm concerned, this should have been a fucking single, and I can't understand for the life of me why it wasn't. Because I think it would have been a huge hit.
Yeah, you're right. Definitely, this would have been a hit. It's catchy. It's a great fucking song. One that I don't think has ever been played live, neither. Nope. Great fucking song, and yeah, should have been a single. I think it's a great song.
Yeah. All right, man. So we concur. This is awesome. Track 7, 7th Avenue. You want to take that one, brother?
Do you know what? I'm actually going to have to play a bit of it because I'm just trying to think how that goes. So.
Oh. Okay.
Play a bit of it here. Oh yeah, I know it. It's got that fucking sexy swagger to it.
It so does, dude.
I was trying to think. There was like 7th Avenue. How the fuck does that go again? But yeah.
Again.
No, it's a great fucking song.
I love this song. Too. This album, I think, gets stronger as it goes on. You know what I mean? Like, it opens up with a cool track, and then the first couple tracks, I'm like, eh. Like you said, though, I like track 3 better than track 2. And then after that, man, it's just boom, 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 boom.
Yep. No, 7th Avenue's a killer fucking song.
Yeah, very cool opening riff. Once again, the kind of riff where you can just walk down the street with that fucking swagger, man.
Yeah.
And not really giving a fuck what anyone else thinks. Yeah, just a really, really cool song, man. And, you know, it's talking about hooking up with a hot chick, you know. And yeah, I like it. I think it's a good track.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got track 8, It Doesn't Matter, written by Piercy and Crusade. Another solid track, in my opinion. Very catchy with cool melodic hooks. And I especially like the chorus with Steven singing one way and then the band going, it doesn't matter. And then, you know, Steve saying, the clothes you wear, and if they stare. I don't know, I think it's just a really cool song. I also think it's kind of like a rallying song or like an anthem. Like, you know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what people think. It doesn't fucking matter. Fuck all that, you know what I mean? And to me, yeah, just a really cool tune. I dig it. What do you think?
Yeah, it's a great fucking tune. Great message behind it. It's just catchy melodies in it. The cool kind of repetitive riff, you know, that goes throughout it. It's a great fucking song. Love it.
Yeah, just catchy as fuck, man.
Yeah,
you know,
like I said, that's RATT all over.
Right, and that's one of the things I said in the first part of this was that, to me, this is pop metal done right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just a perfect mixture of it, you know, and very, very, very cool track. Track 9, Take a Chance. You want to take this one, brother?
No, you go for it, man.
All right, man. Written by Piercy, DeMartini, and Crucier, and I can definitely hear the Aerosmith influence on this track.
Mm-hmm.
Just very cool, swaggy riff. Another walk down the street with a strut. This album's just chock full of them, man. I dig it. I think it's cool.
Yeah, it's such a fucking underrated album. Even, you know, I would put Dancing Undercover up with Invasion of Your Privacy. For me, there's not much between it. Between both albums, and Take a Chance is just another one of them catchy, hooky, fucking killer melody filled songs. You know, everybody shines on it. Even Blotzer, the big useless prick, does a great job on this album, on this track. Fucking love Take a Chance. So far there's only one track I think on this whole album that I'm like meh, but I love it. Love Take a Chance.
Yeah.
And then what's the last song? Enough is Enough.
Yep, written by Crosby, Piercy, DeMartini, and Crucier. I like it. It's got a cool mellow intro with Steven doing his whole dirty talk thing, and then it kicks into the drums and guitar. Not a bad tune at all. I think, honestly, though, I would have probably placed it more in the middle of the album, though. Maybe right around track 2 or 3. I don't think it's a good closing track. I think the last track would have been a better closing track.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, that's just me, you know. I mean, there's probably some people who are, what are you talking about? It sounds amazing. Hey, that's cool, dude, whatever. I mean, I think this is a really good, solid record, especially when you find out the circumstances of when it was written and recorded. very impressive. I've heard some people, I read some sources, they felt that this album was the beginning of the end of Ratt. I don't know if I totally agree with that. I mean, it did go platinum after all. You know, I mean, there was other popular tracks from the album, Dance, Slip of the Lip. And then, of course, in 87, they embarked on a U.S. world tour with newcomers Poison, Ugh, and played in Europe as part of the Monsters of Rock tour, widely bootlegged from what I understand. And their tour with Poison was the 6th highest grossing tour of 1987. And they also played Madison Square Garden. So at this point in time, man, they're firing on all cylinders still. You know, they're kicking ass.
Yeah, I mean, to play MSG is, I mean, the dream of many, and for Ratt to do it at this stage, when, you know, they were considered to be losing ground, it's a big feat, and, you know, it's fucking killer. Like, they obviously weren't in the decline at the time as what people make out they were, because you wouldn't be playing Madison Square fucking Garden if you were.
Right, and it's just one of those things where, to me, there's this whole, people sometimes want to do revisionist history, you know, they want to, oh, well, this, and then there's nothing wrong with that to a certain extent. Now, like, okay, and I don't want to get caught in the Kiss vortex, but I am going to say this real quick. I mean, look at Kiss, perfect example. To most fans, they would probably say either the solo albums or Dynasty was the beginning of the end. You can look back now on that and say it. At the time, though, I don't know if anybody really thought that. You know what I mean? Like, just because... And it's the same with Ratt. Like, you know, at this point in time, they're fucking still huge.
Yeah.
So, to me, it's like... I don't quite understand why... you know, again, to me, it's just that whole revisionist history, and part of it's like you look at things in hindsight's 2020. You know, and you go, oh, yeah, the signs were there, but does that mean people saw it at the time? I don't really think so. At that point in time, man, Ratt was still huge, man. Hell, and by this point in time, I'm all into the thrash metal thing. But let me tell you, dude, I bought me a copy of Dancing Undercover. You know, I loved it. So. You know, I thought it was a good, solid record, just like the first two records. I like it, you know. Like, I think it is a bit down from Invasion and Out of the Cellar, but it's still a damn good, solid fucking record, man. And as I said, especially under the circumstances when they recorded it, because when I found that out, I was like, oh well, fuck, man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So anyway, now we're going into the. To me, this is where the decline starts. This is from 88 to 89, Reach for the Sky.
Yeah.
Released November 3rd, 1988, produced by Beau Hill and Mike Stone. Recorded at A&M Studios and the record plant in L.A., the Enterprise, Burbank, California. Singles was Way Cool Jr. / Chain Reaction, and then we had the second one was I Want a Woman and What I'm After. And there was some, you know, because first they wanted Mike to produce it, and then there was the issues, and then Bo came along, and yeah, his fingerprints are all over this record.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's such a good thing or not. So we'll get into that in a minute. Right now, you want to start off with the first track, Matt?
Yep. Would I just pull it out here and see what it is?
See right there, that tells me everything I need to know. Like, this is the part of the podcast where we're going to be kind of like, oh, because this is, I hate to say it, but this to me is the decline. Yeah. This is where, and I'm not as into this record as I am the first three.
Yeah, me neither. And you know, I didn't listen to this record this week.
You naughty boy, man.
Yeah. Do you know what? I know the songs enough, but I didn't really get into it.
I went ahead and made a point to listen to this record, though, dude, because I had not heard it in years.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's not that long since I heard it. I mean, I've listened to it a few times, you know, in the last year. Yeah, well, to be honest, I was kind of up to my eyes this week, so I kind of maybe crammed Dancing Undercover and Invasion, which I know far too fucking well, but I crammed them a bit too much. I just didn't even really get round to this. But, you know, first track, City to City, I think it's a great fucking song. I think it's a good opener. I think it keeps in that Ratt tradition. Love it. I think Stephen does a great job vocally on it. Yeah, great song, great opener. Oh, you don't like it?
City to City, written by Crosby, Piercy, DeMartini, Crucier, Hill. Starts with background noises of city life. Honestly, not really feeling this track at all.
Oh,
not
wow.
horrible.
I thought you'd like it.
But it's kind of void. Nothing there. It kind of picks up towards the end, but to me it's too little too late. When this opens the track, it's kind of worrisome. That was my notes.
Yeah.
This is the opening track. I'm like, I don't know. I just wasn't... It doesn't grab me like the rest of their stuff does, man.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, well, maybe it's a long time since I've heard this album, and now with fresh ears, I'm going to go in and maybe have a different opinion. No, it was pretty much for my reaction when I first heard the album. I remember I was like, oh, yikes.
Yeah.
Okay. Track 2, I Want a Woman, written by Crosby, Piercy, Crucier, and, of course, Beau Hill. Beau Hill's fingerprints are all over this fucking record, more so than any previous Ratt album. Those are my notes. Good catchy melodic tune that does hook you. Basically telling his lady he wants a real woman who's going to treat him right. Cool song. What do you think?
Yeah, I love it. I think it's cheesy as fuck.
Oh, sure.
Even take the theme of the song out of it and the lyrics, just the tune of it is cheesy as fuck. It's nearly something you'd see on like a fucking soap opera or some shit like that.
Oh, sure.
But I love the song. I think it's catchy as fuck, and it's another one of those tracks that gets stuck in my head. I'll be singing, I want a woman, not a little
girl,
fucking day.
Oh, I know. Yeah, it is very, very, very catchy. Like I said, I like it, man.
Yeah.
Then we had Way Cool Jr., track 3, written by Piercy, DeMartini, and Hill. Very bluesy track, which is a bit of a departure for Ratt at this point in time. Tells a story about a blues guitar player that has a way with the ladies. It's a cool song, though, and I do dig it, despite it having a horn section.
Yeah.
And it was another big hit from the album. That song and I Want a Woman were the two big hits and big hits. Ugh, Fuji Capesta. It's all right, buddy. It happens. It ain't a podcast till somebody burps or farts or, I mean, you're just
it's authentic.
It's your ode to Ian.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's shit's
anyway,
funny.
yeah. Track 4, Don't Bite the Hand That Feeds, written by Crosby, Piercy, Crucier, Hill. Slow, chuggy riff, sweet guitar solo. Not bad, but not great. And so far, to me, this is a definite downgrade from the first 3 albums. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that for me, the album takes a dive here. Don't Bite the Hand That Feeds. It's alright. It's filler. Lyrically, I think it's a bit weak. It's nearly as if they were sort of running out of ideas. It sounds like it was just thrown together.
I don't know. To this album, to me, it just seems like they're kind of going through the motions.
Yeah. But a lot of problems around this time.
I know.
With Robin. It was this on this tour.
This is right around the time. I think it was. We'll get to that in a minute. It's just. Yeah, to me, this is where the wheels start coming off for the band, unfortunately, and it shows. We got track 5, I Want to Love You Tonight, written by Crosby, Piercy, DeMartini. It's a cool mellow intro, kind of a mellow song, much like Closer to My Heart, about as close as Ratt came to a power ballad at this point in time. That comes on the next record, but we'll do that later on down the road. What do you think of it?
I'm not a fan of this at all.
Yeah, I don't really. It's like I said, that was my ballads. I don't even say I like it or I don't like it. It's just kind of fucking there, you know, which is kind of the way this record feels to me. It's just there.
Yeah, this whole second half basically from. I mean, I love City to City. You know, them couple of tracks up to Way Cool Jr. and basically everything else just doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
Yeah, it's just don't really do a lot for me, man. It's filler at best. You know, then we got track 6, Chain Reaction, written by Piercy DeMartini and Crucier. Very fast-paced, almost thrashy for Ratt, once again. Body Talk Part 2, you could almost say. A very solid track. Honestly, it's probably my favorite from the record so far because it's more heavy. What do you think?
Yeah, I like the fastness of it, and I like that kind of little drum intro. It's definitely, Joe, it's a step up compared to.
Well, yeah, after the last couple of tracks, it's a goddamn masterpiece.
Compared to fucking you know, I Want to, or Don't Bite the Hand That Feeds, and you know, I Want to Love You Tonight. It's fucking Stairway to Heaven compared to that shit. But
right.
Yeah, look, you know what? It's not a bad track, but just filler, bar that beginning part that I really like.
Well, like I said probably my favorite. I mean, this record, I'm not really feeling it. It really saddens me. Like when I listen to this, I was hoping that, well, maybe that, because sometimes your tastes change, you know, and I thought, well, maybe, you know, listening to this record with fresh ears, it's been a long time, because I've always been like a first 3 albums guy when it comes to Ratt, you know. So I thought, you know, but honestly, man, it hasn't aged well. It's just, it is what it is. It's a band on the decline. It's just, there is no look. I mean, I don't know. I hope I'm not offending any hardcore Ratt fans out there by saying that, but I just am not feeling this fucking record at all. Yeah. Track 7, No Surprises, by Piercy DeMartini. Yeah. Well, shit. I have nothing. So that tells you right there what I must have thought.
That tells you what you think.
It's just there.
Yeah.
I don't know, and I feel the same way about the next track, Bottom Line, written by Crosby, Piercy, Crucier, and DeMartini Anhill. There's just something fucking missing from this album. I don't know what it is. It's just...
I find about No Surprise is there's a lot of recycling going on. You know, I find the beginning very reminiscent of Lay It Down. You know, there's just pieces of other Ratt songs, you know, nearly thrown in together to make another track. That, you know, that's what it feels like to me. You know, it's like, okay, we've only got 7 tracks. You know, we need 2 or 3 more. Let's just fucking jerk off and see what comes out. That's what it feels like.
Right. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It kind of made me sad all over again, you know, because it made me flashback to the first time I heard this record and just go on. Because like when I first heard the first couple of singles, I was like, oh, you know, I'll go ahead and check it out. I've always liked Ratt, you know. You gotta remember, at this point in time, dude, it's 88, bro. I'm all into the thrash metal, you know, and the heavy shit. Guns N' Roses, you know, that's my jams at the time. And, you know, of course, Ozzy, traditional metal too, but I was just like, you know, but I'm like, well, I've always liked Ratt, and they've never let me down, so I'm going to go ahead and buy this record. And oh my God, I was just like, kind of broke my heart a little bit, man. I was like, oh man, they were doing so well, you know, but it's funny with them, though. I didn't care for this record, but I wasn't mad at them for it like I was when Motley Crue did Theater of Pain. Because I felt with Theater of Pain, I almost felt betrayed by that record.
Yeah.
You know, like, what the fuck is this shit? And why the fuck is Nikki Sixx dressed like Steven Tyler from the 70s? And what the fuck? And it was then that I realized, well, these guys, I mean, really, and this is going to piss some Crue fans off, but I really don't give a fuck. As much as I like the first 2 Motley Crue albums, especially Shout at the Devil, really, Motley Crue, they copied everybody. Mm-hmm. They started off as Kiss clones. Then they become Aerosmith clones. Then they, to me, they borrowed from everybody, and I don't have a problem with borrowing people, but I mean, Jesus Christ, dude, Mick Mars used to even spit blood. Like, really? Yeah. How original is that? Then you got fucking Nicky with the Steven Tyler outfit, the black and white outfit. It looks just like Steven's from the 70s. I'm just like, what the fuck, man? Do you guys do? That was when my eyes were opened up. You know what I mean? When I heard that record, I thought, okay, I get it now. All right, and they became clit rock. Yeah, they became a girl band.
Absolutely.
With this, I don't really feel this is a betrayal. It's just it's a misstep. To me, it's like, and maybe I'm giving Ratt the benefit of the doubt, but I kind of feel like they earned it at this point. They had 4 solid records if you count the EP. Mm-hmm. They had earned my respect. Like maybe if Motley Crue had done a record like Theater of Pain, like 4 or 5 albums down the line, I wouldn't be so upset. But it was just such a stark. Well, dude, it was such a fucking departure from what I had known Motley Crue to be. I was just like, what the fuck is this shit?
Mm-hmm.
And I felt the same way with Metallica and the Black Album. And believe it or not, 8-year-old, 9-year-old Mike felt the same way about Dynasty.
Mm-hmm.
When I first heard I Was Made for Loving You, we were pissed. My brothers and I, my older brother was pissed.
Broke his heart.
Broke his heart. Dude, he broke the record. So for years, I didn't even know that Dynasty had any other cool tracks. I thought it was all disco.
Yeah.
Because the only songs I ever heard was fucking I Was Made for Loving You, Sure Know Something, and Dirty Living.
Yeah.
Didn't know about Charisma. Didn't know about X-Ray Eyes. Didn't know about which is a killer fucking song.
Great song.
Ace Frehley's songs.
2000 Man.
Hey, I'm just going to state this right now. Not to get in a Kiss vortex, but I got to say this. Ace saved that fucking record.
Yeah.
If it hadn't been for Ace Frehley, Dynasty would have sucked fucking demon cock. Okay? Mm-hmm. All right, let's just throw that out there. I'm sorry, but it would have. But anyway, my point that I'm trying to make, I didn't feel that way about Ratt when he did this. Like, I just felt like it was I don't know. There's just, it's just not that great. Like track 9. What's it gonna be? Once again, written by Crosby, Crosby, DeMartini, Percy, and Hill. Hill, you need to stay the fuck out of the songwriting process. I blame him for this shit. I really do. Even though I think he was a good producer for Ratt, I do think he was. I mean, those first 3 records, he did a great job, but he wasn't really part of the songwriting process. And this, he's like this, what's it going to be? This shit's just way too happy. It's not as heavy as the first 3 albums. This shit is more pop than metal. Yeah. They had the perfect fucking balance on the first 3 albums of pop and metal. Here, not so fucking much. That's my note, dude, for the whole record. And then what I'm after, Percy Crucier, I got sweet guitar solo. That's all I had written down. So that tells you what I felt about the song at the time. I'm like, fuck this record.
Yeah. Well,
I'm just like,
I'll just add, I actually forgot that What's It Gonna Be was on this. And then when I looked there, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that was on. But I love that song. I think it is just cheese-tastic.
It's cheese-tastic, all right, brother.
I fucking love it. And I have been known to play that on Mind Over Metal live show on that metal station. Hey. Do a little bit of hair metal, bit of cock rock. Every now and again, What's It Gonna Be? Sweet Elena.
And that's kind of how I feel about this record. I feel like this was them going in that direction. I know some people are like, well, they were always a hair metal band. See, I disagree. They were a glam metal band.
Mm-hmm.
Hair metal was bad glam metal. All right, I'm just going to sit there and say that right now. All hair metal was glam metal. It's bad glam metal. It was what glam metal became, in my opinion. The original glam metal scene was fucking cool. And it says right here, It was released in November of '88, and although the album achieved platinum status and reached number 17 on Billboard's album charts, it was widely panned by critics. Gee, I wonder why. Complaints ranged from it being formulaic and sophomoric to the album being uneven and lacking in focus. After this album, the band parted ways with longtime producer Beau Hill. For all the criticisms, Reach for the Sky nevertheless contained the popular tracks Way Cool Jr. and I Want a Woman, which received their usual MTV airplay. These two songs are now regarded as glam metal classics. The surreal Dali-esque album cover featured a statue wearing a night vision goggles, a human hand emerging from a bundle of twine, a World War II fighter plane, and a wicker chair. Yeah, the cover never made any goddamn sense. Yeah, that was a terrible fucking cover.
Yeah.
Brad, I thought all their other covers, loved them. Even though most of them featured a hot chick. I even like Dancing Undercover, because it's like them just sitting there going, hey man, we're rad.
Yeah, they were cool as fuck looking.
Yeah, right, they look cool, you know. It's cool as glam metal dudes can look. Mm-hmm. The band remained mum as to what the album cover is supposed to symbolize, so to facilitate the diverse interpretations of their fans. My interpretation, it was shit. Early pressings of the album cover revealed the breast part of the statue is requested by lead singer Stephen Pearcy. According to Pearcy, he wanted to use that version of the cover, but the other band members feared this would keep the record out of certain music stores. The revised version of the album contained the same tracks, but in a different order. After the revised version hit the record stores, producer Beau Hill stepped down from producer duties, and tensions within the band increased. The band started the new year with a concert at the Tokyo Dome, headlined by Bon Jovi. The other band in the bill were Kingdom Come. Oh, fuck those guys. Yeah. Goddamn Led Zeppelin wannabe cocksuckers. God, they suck. Mm-hmm. And Britney Fox. And Cinderella clones.
Yeah, and Kicks suck.
Yeah, dude, Britney Fox. I had a buddy of mine. He was into them. He joined their fan club, and I'm like, why, Brian? And Brian liked really heavy shit. Like, he loved the thrash metal, too. He was all about nuclear assault and all that shit. But he fucking was part of had a signed fucking photo. I give him so much shit for that. Well, it's like Britney Fox, because they're Cinderella clones. That's why. You know, there's nothing original about them. I mean, he even dressed like Cinderella, for Christ's sake. Wore the same fucking colors. Yep. Had a gay girl name for their band. Give me a fucking break, man. Jesus Christ. And that's my problem with what happened to the glam metal scene.
Yeah.
You just have these fucking copies of... Surprised somebody didn't fucking try to rip off Ratt and come up with a Mickey Ratt.
Yeah. Or a mouse.
Ratt? Yeah, right. Mouse. Yeah, there you go. Hi, we're Mouse. Let's rock and roll.
Heavy metal, dude.
Heavy metal. Oh my god. Devil horn. Ratt soon played the Tokyo Dome on their own. Both appearances have been widely bootlegged. The tour that followed in the spring of '89, supported by Kicks,
they suck.
Oh my god! See, I would have been at the beer tent the entire time, or I would have just arrived late deliberately just so I could see Ratt.
Yeah.
And it says right here that it was eventually canceled due to poor ticket sales. So right here, they're on the decline, dude. This was their dynasty. This was when, because remember, when Kiss did Dynasty, they had all these fucking crazy plans for the tour, and they're having to cancel dates, and they were trying to. They thought it was 1977, where Kiss was so huge in the 70s, dude. 77 really was at their apex, and they were selling out some venues 2 or 3 nights in a fucking row, man.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were so... That's what I mean when I hear people go, Kiss is as big as they've ever been. You are on fucking drugs if you think Kiss is as big as they were in 1977. Alright? Because even though I was just a little kid, motherfuckers, I was there. I was there, man. I remember, okay? I remember how big Kiss was. Fucking great.
Yeah. I actually just watched that documentary on YouTube last night when Kiss rules the world, or ruled the world.
Ruled the world. And they did rule the fucking world.
I think is it a VH1 documentary or whatever, but it shows, when they came to, was it Cadillac, Michigan, is it? Or
yes.
I mean, everywhere they went, they were just fucking swarmed by fans and just...
Well, the Cadillac, Michigan thing was kind of unique. I think that was around the Dress to Kill era. And It was the Dress to Kill era, I believe, because it's the costumes from the Alive era, and that was the same. And this coach was playing, Kiss music, and this was a team that had been last place, we weren't very good. And he started playing rock music, and the kids just latched on to Kiss, and every time they'd listen to Kiss, they'd go out and fucking practice their balls off, man. Like, even in practice, it gave them an extra energy. Then they'd go out and just fucking kick everybody's ass. So they invited Kiss, and Kiss was like, sure. I mean, they literally performed in that school's... They put on a Kiss concert in their gymnasium, dude. Can you imagine what that must have been like, man? Yeah. So, yeah, Kiss was a band that was on the rise. This was before Alive. So they hadn't broke big, but, man, they didn't do anything half-assed. I mean, they come in with a fucking helicopter. They leave with a helicopter. They got the key to the city. Everybody's wearing Kiss makeup. It is so fucking cool. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, Alive breaks big, and that's when the rest was history. Dude, I remember the Paul Lynde Halloween special. I remember watching that as a kid. I remember, people have to understand, like, to see Kiss was a big deal. We didn't have MTV. We didn't have YouTube. We didn't have, you had to fucking... Dude, I remember getting excited whenever I would see commercials for the newest Kiss album. Because you would actually see visual footage of them performing, and it was just like I would sometimes not be around the TV, and I would hear Kiss, rock and roll. I would run to the living room and slide on the floor just so I could get a glimpse of Kiss. People don't understand, like how, and in 77, dude, they were huge, huge. I mean, it's funny, everybody always refers to Dynasty as Super Kiss, but in my opinion, it was 77. That's when they were Super Kiss. Mm-hmm. That's when they were at the top of their fucking game, man.
Absolutely.
So, any of you fucking Kiss tards that can't handle what I'm saying, fuck off. Seriously, man. I'm getting tired of seeing these idiots on Facebook. Oh, I support all my rights. I'm a real fan. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you, motherfucker. Just because I don't like an era of a band doesn't mean make me... Hey, guess what? I think Metallica's Black Album kind of sucks shit through a fucking straw. I defy anybody to tell me I'm not a Metallica fan.
Yep.
When I was listening to when your fucking ass was probably swimming in your daddy's nuts. Or you probably didn't even know about him till the fucking Black Album.
Yeah.
So fuck off.
You didn't have a rant last week, so you're due one.
I'm making up lost time.
Yeah. Awesome.
The
fans love your rants.
Sky. Do they really?
Oh yeah.
Right. Just because I don't like Reach for the Sky, again, doesn't mean I love Ratt. Fuck, we wouldn't be doing this goddamn retrospective if I didn't love me some fucking Ratt. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of this record. This was definitely, this is their dynasty as far as I'm concerned. It's like, oh boy, here we go. And then once again, ticket sales, they're not selling out. They're not, this was the beginning of the, so, like I said, that article I read, well, this is the beginning. Well, retrospectively, you can say that, can't you? Because it was all downhill after Dancing Undercover. But you can't sit there and fucking tell me that you fucking felt that way when that fucking record came out. Because I fucking know better. Because I didn't think they were on a decline. I thought, fuck, man, these guys just keep fucking boom, boom, boom. Mm-hmm. Reach for the Sky was kind of like, it was a little shocking to me. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck is going on? It wasn't until I found out later. I mean, I knew they were doing their share of drugs. Jesus Christ, dude, I didn't know fucking Crosby was banging heroin. Nobody did that I know of. So, yeah, it's a hot mess, man.
Mm-hmm. So, what have we done now? We have done from the EP up to Reach for the Sky.
So, yes, our next episode will be... hold on a minute, bro. I'm going to look it up right now. Yeah, it'll be the next 3 albums after that, as far as I'm concerned. That'll catch us up. It'll be Detonator, 1999 is what I call it, because I refuse to call it that.
Self-titled album.
A killer fucking EP with self-titled. And then, of course, Infestation.
Yeah. Awesome.
So
I can't wait to hear your thoughts on Detonator. That's going to be fun.
Why am I going to go off on even more rants?
I don't know. You could shock me, but I have a feeling you will.
Ah, boy.
But you fuckers just have to tune in and find out.
See, I'm already worried because I know Desmond fucking Child was involved in songwriting.
Yeah,
okay.
He's molested a lot of songs on that album.
Fuck Desmond Child. I'm just gonna throw that out there right now. Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. And oh my god, he ruined Kiss. He's ruined so many good bands. So now I gotta sit here and listen to this shit.
Hey, he ruined Vince Neil as well.
Backing vocals. Fuck me running. God damn it. Ah, maybe I shouldn't have done this fucking retrospective. Sad.
Man, keep the anger until next episode. Don't waste it all.
Goddamn. But yeah. I mean, hey, I still love me some rap though, folks.
Absolutely.
Just want y'all to know that, man. I mean, 4 records, and I'm including the EP. Fucking solid as fuck, as far as I'm concerned. And I don't think Ratt have anything to be ashamed of. I'm proud to call myself a fucking Ratt.
Yeah, you're a Ratt and roller.
Guess what, motherfuckers? You can be a Ratt and roller and a goddamn obituary fan, motherfuckers.
Yep, there's room for both.
You goddamn right there is, man. And I love Ratt, and I'm glad we picked these guys first. Hopefully the listeners like it, and yeah, I'm probably going to go off on a lot more rants in this next episode, though. I have a feeling. Because, yeah, I don't know, man. This record didn't do much for me, but Desmond Child.
Yeah, save it to next week. Don't
spoil
it.
I will. You guys have a good day or good night, or just have a good one, because I don't know what time of day you're going to be listening to this awesome fucking podcast. I love you guys. Love the listeners. Make sure you check out that metal station. Check out all our DJs. Our schedule's right there underneath our chat room, man. We've got a bunch of new DJs. And when you're not listening to that metal station, or if you can't listen, there's no DJs on the air. You guys need to check out our sister station, Soundphoria Radio. It's got our one and only Ian Wadley, Wadzilla. He's still fucking family. Got DJ Def Jeff and DJ Walt doing their thing, man. Kicking ass in Arizona and New Orleans, man. And I love those guys, and I wish them nothing but the best. So if ain't no DJs on the air, you check those motherfuckers out, man. They're fucking solid. They put on good shows, and they're good guys. And, of course, check out all our, Friends' podcast and shit. Stay metal, motherfuckers.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, until, we're on a roll now. We've had 2 episodes in 2 weeks. So, I would safely say we'll have the next episode up next week. So, until then, keep tuning in. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Where else did I whore us out to? Basically, everywhere. Check out the website. And time for the plugs.
Give us some fucking reviews and feedbacks, man. Let us know if you like what we're doing. If we fucking suck, just let us know, man. I want to know if you like the new format. I think I do. I like doing it, and I want to continue doing it. But give us a little feedback, folks. It would be greatly appreciated.
Yep.
Thanks, and have a good night.
Time for the plugs. What's up, everybody? This is DJ Mac, and I just want to tell you guys that my show is now moved to Fridays, 4 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on that metal station. Kick off your fucking weekend with the best in hard rock and heavy metal. Same show, different fucking day. That's Max Mind Over Metal. Fridays, 4 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here, thatmetalstation.com.
Hey everybody, this is DJ Metal Mike, and you need to check out the Metal Mike Show every fucking Friday night from 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time
Check out the Crusader of Metal show, DJ Kane. Bringing metal to the masses every Sunday night from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on thatmetalstation.com. The Doctor is in every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Dr. Buck takes over the airwaves, asking questions and letting give you your prescription of metal. That's right, the Dr. Buck Show, only on That Metal Station.
Hey, I'm Dr. Fuck.
And I'm the Ayatollah of Alcohola.
And we are from the Rock and Metal Combat Podcast.
If you want to check out some crazy, uncensored, unbiased, totally nuts reviews of classic hard rock and heavy metal albums, check us out. You can get us on Podbean and iTunes. New episodes every Sunday.
That's right. And we also do each other's moms.
True. Free of charge.
Well, mine charges.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, mine's free.
Earpillar, the podcasting and interview news site. To keep up with your favorite bands or artists and the podcasts or interviews where they appear, go to earpillar.com to find out what we're all about.
You haven't listened to Mars Attacks podcast? What are you waiting for, man? Host Victor Emrois brings you all types of hard rock and metal-based podcasts. You'll find everything from music-based episodes, interviews, to series such as Ultra Sexy Classic Album Series, where some of your favorite musicians, producers, journalists, and show hosts comment on the albums that push the evolutionary chains of hard rock and metal. Get with it and go to MarsAttacksRadio.com to find out more.
All right, Kiss Army. Since 2007, you've been getting Podkissed, the Kiss audio fanzine for your ears.
That's right, it's your Podkissed. Every month, the Podkiss crew, along with the Kiss Room, brings you Kiss talk like no one else, whether it be roundtables, interviews with the band past and present, analysis, and great Kiss fun.
Hi, this is Jay Fraley, and you're listening to Podkiss.
Hi, this is Bruce Kulick, and you're listening to Podkiss.
The Podkissed, the Kiss audio fanzine for your ears.
Hey everybody, I'm Aaron.
And I'm Chris.
And we're from the Decibel Geek Podcast. And if you love this...
then you'll love us.
That's right. Brand new episode every single Monday. You can find us on iTunes and at decibelgeek.com. And the best thing is, it's rock and roll and it's always free.
Hello. My name is Lee Gerstmann, and I have a podcast which is improvisational in time. The next episode might be 20 seconds away or it might be 20 years away, but it's called The Lee Gerstmann Show, and I do a lot of record reviews, but I also do editorials about women and food and other subjects, strange or otherwise. Feel free to take a listen to the Lee Gerstmann Show on Spreaker. Thank ya.